Hey everybody. That looks alright. We're back, playing Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, as we ditch anime and decide to replace it with May-troidvania, which was a joke that I came up with that I decided I was way more interested in actually doing than anime. So, for like the rest of May, we're going to be doing Metroidvania games, and the same rules will apply, one game per franchise. So we're not just going to do a month of Castlevania. We're going to do this Castlevania, we'll do one Metroid, and we'll move to like the other Metroidvania stuff that I have. I've got a bunch of Metroidvania stuff like Hollow Knight, Axiom Verge, there is of course Bloodstained, Guacamelee, there's a lot of good stuff. It's probably also worth noting that I'm actually playing a ROM hack of this, which replaces all of the anime portraits with Ayami Kojima style artwork. I don't know if it's actually art done by Ayami Kojima, but it looks a lot more like her work, because both this and Dawn of Sorrow had anime artwork, which supposedly was to try and encourage a larger audience to play Castlevania. I don't know how successful it was, but it ended up being one of the major criticisms of both games, that the artwork just was nowhere near as good as previous Castlevanias. I don't honestly have an issue with it, but I've got this ROM hack which I think is a neat idea. So we're going to play it. And let's get into it. I like Portrait of Ruin. I feel like Portrait of Ruin is sandwiched in an unfortunate position, because it is a good game, but it's stuck between Dawn of Sorrow, which is fantastic, and Order of Ecclesia, which has kind of a higher profile for several reasons.
1944. The world is in chaos. The Second World War has claimed millions of lives, leveled cities, and destroyed nations. The souls of the war's dead blanket the planet, lost, hurt, and angry. Their anguish summons an accursed castle of legend. It has appeared many times through history, bringing with it evil and darkness. The castle of Dracula, the Lord of Evil, arrives at mankind's darkest hour and pushes all the blankets are ruined.
Yeah, World War II's going on. The time frame doesn't really matter, honestly, for this. The specific time that it's taking place in. The main thing to note about the time frame is that it puts this in place as a sequel to Castlevania Bloodlines, which was on the Mega Drive. Jonathan Morris is the son of one of the heroes of Bloodlines, John Morris. And with him is Charlotte Arlen, who is his companion. The gimmick of this game is that you have two characters at once, and it's not a bad gimmick, honestly. I think it's done fairly well. We're going to be primarily playing as Jonathan, just because he has the attack power and generally the defense. But there'll be moments when we make good use of Charlotte. Don't mind that, that was me accidentally pressing the button that simulates the DS closing, which is where that noise comes from as well, because Portrait of Ruin is one of those DS games that had a noise when you close it. Like Super Mario 64 DS, I'm pretty sure had it, and New Super Mario Bros. DS also had it when you closed the DS. Mario would say bye-bye. You are a great magician. Your colors are red. I guess the downside of these portraits is they only have one picture. The original anime portraits would have different facial expressions for different things. That is kind of a downside, I guess. Yeah, well. The portrait's not even a major thing, I was just kind of curious about this, this ROM hack. And here we go. Hey, welcome to Stream Ghost playing. Favorite Castlevania is... Good question. Classic would probably be Super Castlevania 4. Metroidvania style, I guess, Aria of Sorrow. What about you, Ghostblade? Let me just work this out. Grab that. And now we switch. Portrait of Ruin is a really good one. Hey, how you doing, Faison? I think Portrait of Ruin is kind of underrated in compared to the rest of the DS trilogy. I do like it though, and unlike Dawn of Sorrow, it doesn't have any of the touchscreen gimmicks unless you play Sisters mode. Well, the issue here, Teak, also, how you doing, Teak? The Vampire Killer is currently one of the weakest weapons. For plot reasons. Okay. How's everybody doing? Well, you've come to the right place for it, Faison. Ain't no village going on here. Ah, see, you need to put off the groceries so you can hang out here and we can play Castlevania. That really is a hard question. Especially with so many Castlevanias having remixes and rearrangements of previously existing tracks. Symphony of the Night is definitely a contender. Well, like I say, Phazon, for the rest of the month we're doing Metroidvania games. Symphony of the Night is definitely a contender. It's got a fantastic soundtrack. I like a lot of what Super Castlevania 4 does, but I'm not overly fond of its sound font. Dracula X on Super Nintendo has some really good versions of some Castlevania songs. Bloodlines does pretty well. It's really hard to pick, honestly. Warp point. That's fair enough, Hazel. Harmony of Dissonance. The big problem with Harmony of Dissonance is generally that the quality of the soundtrack doesn't take advantage of the GBA's sound capabilities. I don't like this portrait for wind. It's been a while since I played Harmony of Dissonance, honestly. Circle of the Moon has some really good music. Yeah, for anybody who didn't catch it at the start, we're playing a ROM hack that replaces all the anime portraits with portraits that are either Hayao Kojima artwork or resemble Hayao Kojima artwork. I think the Charlotte and Jonathan pieces come from Harmony of Dissonance. Honestly, no. Konami has said that they have key projects in the works under development that will not be ready in time for E3. I'm curious to see if they're going to do anything with any property I actually care about, so we can see them beat some dead horses. Beyond that, like, no, there's nothing I'm expecting or really looking forward to. I'm on kind of a massive retro kick at the minute. To be fair, Metal Gear was dead from the minute Phantom Pain came out. Metal Gear Survive just dug up the corpse and stuck it on strings, made it dance around for a little more money. As a Castlevania fan, like, the way Konami's treated Castlevania for the last 9 years, I think, has been really disappointing. Lords of Shadow 2 wasn't awful. I enjoyed Lords of Shadow 2. But since then, they've not done anything with it beyond pachinko machines. There was that mobile game, Grimoire of Souls, which was apparently actually quite good. But it wasn't even out of beta in, I think, Japan and the US. It never came out over here. It wasn't even out of beta, and Konami shut it down because apparently the game wasn't actually set up to encourage people to spend money. So you could play through the entire game and you'd never need to spend money. Absolutely, Dawn of Sorrow is really good. If you can get past the touchscreen gimmicks, or if you get a ROM hack that removes the touchscreen gimmicks, Dawn of Sorrow is fantastic. And it's got some really good music. Yeah, Dawn of Sorrow is fantastic. It's really good. Julius mode is probably also one of the better bonus modes in the series. Dawn of Dissonance. I don't have that. I do have the Definitive Edition. Nothing I actually want.
Thank you.
Dawn of Dissonance. That sounds familiar, but it's been a while since I've looked through the ROM hacks.
You're back.
And the map. Right, I forgot the map.
I'll make you a deal. Thank you. Well done.
I think I was mute when I said that. I should probably rebind closing the DS to something other than one of the triggers. But yeah, what is Dawn of Dissonance then, Ghostblade? Man-made sequel to Harmony of Dissonance. I think I did see that and I didn't really pay attention to it. Hey, Chansum, how you doing, buddy? You mean Dracula? It's not Dracula. Rana. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. I'm ready to sit down, do a couple of hours of Portrait of Ruin, really emphasise that this is a really solid, kind of underrated Castlevania game, and like keep pushing at this, and we'll get going. It'll be good. And then Tuesday do more Portrait of Ruin, hopefully finish it, and then do another Metroidvania game. Like, so far, my main thoughts for May-troidvania we do Portrait of Ruin, we do Super Metroid at some point, possibly Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, Axiom Verge I want to do, possibly Hollow Knight, and I definitely want to do Toho Lunar Nights. But then there's also other stuff I've got, like, what's its face? Guacamelee, and other stuff like that. Bloodstained is a good game. And I think they're done with the updates now. I haven't played it in months. I played it, I beat it, and I haven't played it since. That was at launch, so it should be more stable now. I remember when I played it, it was like, oh, this is mechanically fantastic. Technically, it needs more work. I've never streamed Bloodstained, and I probably should. Probably should. It'd be a good idea. The main concern with Blasphemous, there you go, there's another one I've got. I've played about 10 minutes of Blasphemous. That's kind of it. It was a thing of like, you know, I bought it and I bought it based on Jim Sterling's recommendations. Like, he's playing it, he's talking about it, he's like, this looks kind of neat. And also very unique in its visual presentation. It's like, yeah, no, I'll pick this up at some point, and I got it on Switch and played it for like 10 minutes. Was like, this is probably something I should stream. And so I stopped playing it, and that was like a year ago. And I haven't gotten around to streaming it yet. But Blasphemous is another one that we can possibly do this month. I have a bunch of Metroidvanias. But yeah, the concern with Bloodstained mostly is just that it's one of the longer Metroidvania games. This I expect to be about 7 or 8 hours. Like, very few Metroidvanias take over 10, and Bloodstained does take over 10. Largely just because of how huge it is. Here we go. I feel like there's other Metroidvanias we've got that I can't remember. Let's do this. City of Haze. Oh, I don't have the ability to make Charlotte cast spells yet. So one of the tricks with this game is if you hit an enemy and it flashes blue, then it is resistant to your attack. Which becomes a case of use the opposite person's attack. If they're strong against physical, do magic. Hey, how you doing, M-Dub? Welcome to May-troidvania. I've always hated this room. Because when we go back to Wind after finishing this level, he'll tell us to come here and punch one of these pieces of meat to get an item. And until we get that quest, we can't get the item from the meat. And I always hate that we have to wait for it. Doing good? I'm glad you're doing good, M-Dub. I'm glad you're doing good. Goodies. Alright, I want to get the axe as soon as possible, so if one of the axe knights can drop that, I'll appreciate it. Yes, I know many good RPGs. You could say I'm a connoisseur of RPGs. RPGs is primarily what we do on this channel, honestly. We RPGs, the main three that everybody is aware of are Xenoblade, Pandora's Tower, and The Last Story. The trick, of course, is being able to pick up any of them. They all go for, I imagine, quite a bit now. I imagine they're all kind of expensive now. Yep, Operation Rainfall, the desperate push to get those games released in the US. I've got them all. I have put Pandora's Tower on the list of games I want to do soon. And by soon, like, I really mean in like 3 or 4 RPGs. What do we got? Legend of Dragoon coming up. Trails in the Sky. And then Pandora's Tower, I think. There we go. Pandora's Tower, I think, does. Last Story, I don't know. I think the Wii primarily shared the same issue the GameCube and the N64 did of not really having a huge number of RPGs. If you can pick up a copy, Skies of Arcadia on GameCube is well worth doing, which you could play on the Wii, but you would need a GameCube controller for it. Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, again, you'd need a GameCube controller for it. Super Paper Mario is much less of an RPG. There we go. Did I miss the ability to press the half to make the partner do the magic? Yeah, I think Pandora's Tower does require motion controls. You have to point at the screen for it. Come on. If your partner gets hit, that costs MP, which isn't a big deal a lot of the time, but then there are times where it will be. Xenoblade, no, you can play Xenoblade entirely with a classic controller. If you buy Xenoblade on Wii U, from the Wii U eShop, you can play it entirely on the gamepad, which is kind of neat. But no, that doesn't require any motion controls. I'm not entirely sure if it has any motion controls. The game I've probably spent the most time on that didn't end, probably Final Fantasy XIV, but with it being an MMO, like there's that. Shin Megami Tensei generally takes around 80 plus hours. Persona 4 on my first playthrough took me about 85. Yeah, I find that in comparison with a lot of other people, I've gone through a bunch of this stuff really quickly. Like my first playthrough of Persona 5 was about 80 hours, and I know people who did it who took over 100 to beat it. But yeah, generally any Shin Megami Tensei game will probably take you upwards of 70 hours. Digital Devil Saga is an exception to that if you count them both as separate games. But if you count them as one game together, then that would have been about 110. 110 hours. You know what? Didn't want that. There we go. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain took me probably like the longest time for a non-RPG game. That was about 75 hours, I think, when I finished it, because it told me the time at the end. I wouldn't say that was all time well spent, honestly. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, if I'd actually gone to finish it, would have probably taken me a lot of time. As it was, I hit about 40-45 hours and just lost interest. Because the game started doing Assassin's Creed bullshit when it's previously not been doing that. There we go, that's what I was after. Honestly, not so much. In the time between the first season pass and the second season pass, I kind of lost interest in Smash. Dance, I think, would be kind of a cool addition. And it'd be neat to have Dance and Bayonetta in the same game. Not really anybody else. Like I say, I've not been into Smash for a little while now. I'd kind of just lost interest. Partly due to the state of the online. Even when you can find somebody who's fun to play with, the online will usually drag that down. And I beat the World of Light. Did it 100%. It was a bunch of fun. Nice focus for the single player. But now that we're all done with that, and after the first season pass, because aside from Joker, I've not been all that interested in any of the DLC characters. Like, they announced Joker as the first DLC character, and it was exciting because it really set up a case of they could literally put anybody in. It could be anybody. And then I felt like the rest of the choices weren't super interesting. Dragon Quest Hero, Banjo-Kazooie was really impressive. Though I don't have any personal connection to Banjo-Kazooie. Terry Bogard I was disappointed with because when the thing of like everybody got excited because it was like, oh yeah, no, SNK's logo is on the Smash site now. And was like, oh, who could it be? I was like, I really hope it's Metal Slug. Like, I hope it's like Marco from Metal Slug, and then the alternate costumes are the other characters from Metal Slug. But it wasn't. It was Terry Bogard, and I thought that was disappointing. And of course, Violet was a disappointing choice. And then the second season, I've just not been interested in. So I guess Dance, but like I'm not all that interested anymore. God damn it. Yeah, I can't really think of anybody else. Beyond that, I've kind of just fallen out of fighting games in the last few years anyway. Right, here we go, Dullahan. The first boss. Right, do I hit the head for this one? Or... no. Okay. I kind of forget with this guy sometimes, because... Harmony of Despair, which I've killed Dullahan in Harmony of Despair way more than I've done this boss fight. When he appears in Harmony of Despair, you have to specifically aim for the head. Well, pressed the wrong button before I backdashed, so I backdashed the wrong way. There we go. Alright, thanks for joining us, Ghostplane. You have yourself a good day too. You take care of yourself. Loretta. So based on what we've seen so far, I think the portraits are a nice idea. These new portraits are a nice idea, but they don't convey the same emotion that the anime portraits do, because the anime portraits have specific variations for it. So I think, aesthetic aside, the original portraits are probably the better idea. Alright, let's go do more exploring. With our new ability. Now I can jump on Charlotte. So one of the things Portrait of Ruin definitely has going for it is the variety in environments. Because of the paintings basically taking you to entirely different environments, it allows Portrait of Ruin to have the most variety of basically any Castlevania game. Even Castlevania games that spend a bunch of time outside the castle, like Order of Ecclesia. This has way more environmental design than that, because of the paintings. Which is kind of nice, it's kind of neat. Even if it does end up working out mostly the same way as... ends up working out mostly the same way as Order of Ecclesia's areas, separate areas. I do think this was probably better done than Order of Ecclesia's separate areas. Because these separate areas feel like smaller open areas to explore. Whereas the separate areas in Order of Ecclesia are just straight lines, they're very linear. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing in itself. Don't want that. I just think these environments, the paintings end up working out as being more interesting to explore. Yeah, whatever that did, it's not worth it. That said though, it doesn't make one game better than the other. They're both really good games. Okay, I think I have a little too much of the screen cut off. Let me work that out a second. Should have done more testing on this. Say 115. Not that. Okay. The screen was just pushed up too far. It's not that I'd cut too much of it off. Yeah, that's definitely better. Alright. Wasn't a big deal, but it would have bothered me a little bit if we kept doing it. New sword! I really want the axe for these things. There we go. And a ribbon. No, we don't want to lose 3 points of intelligence for 1 point of defense. It's not worth it. Push cube. Hiker's jacket. Nice, we got that early enough for it to actually be of use. Did I equip it? I did. Nice. Okay. We got a bunch of extra experience for that, at least. Even if the reward wasn't really worth it. Alright, so we're pretty much done with this area. We've explored all of it. I had not planned Blood Rain Betrayal. I don't have it. And I wasn't aware it's a Metroidvania. I thought it was a very straightforward beat-em-up. Because, I remember Blood Rain Betrayal came out years ago. I tried the demo and didn't think much of it. I thought it was a very straightforward and kind of dull, linear hack and slash kind of thing. I could have been wrong. Alright, let's teleport back to the start. Also, can show off one of the weird little features that this game has that you will probably never know about or never use. Your partner will always move to wherever you tap the screen. So you can actually control your partner. It's just, how could you do that whilst also doing your own thing? Plus, as somebody who's left-handed, Portrait of Ruin is not kind to people who are left-handed. At all. Like, Sisters Mode is controlled entirely with the touchscreen and the D-pad. So I had to play Sisters Mode with, like, my offhand with the stylus. It was awful. See, this is what I was talking about. Now we can go back and get the thing. Yeah. I don't know, I'd be interested in seeing more of Blood Rain Betrayal, I guess. But I don't actually have it. I didn't think it was as much a problem with the Wiimote, because by the time the Wii came out, movement controls had been on the left as an industry standard for decades. But with the DS, with it using like touchscreen based controls, so you're using a stylus pen, I felt like not being able to have a left-hand option was bullshit. And the stream disconnected. Yeah, Twilight Princess on the Wii flipped the entire map so Link could be right-handed for that kind of thing. It also led to Skyward Sword Link being, I think, canonically the only right-handed Link. Every other Link is canonically left-handed. There we go, the axe. Is he? Huh. That's weird. I don't like that. Yeah, no, I know Twilight Princess Link is left-handed. Yeah, we can't get that until we get the quest for it, which is frustrating. Yeah, stream just disconnected again. Not really sure why. No, I also didn't like using the Wii motion control. I didn't finish Twilight Princess until a friend in college lent me the GameCube version. Because we had the Wii version at home, and I was like, I'm not doing this. This is awful, and I'm not going to play an entire game of this bullshit. So when I was in college, a friend lent me the GameCube version. That's when I actually finished it. Motion controls are a big part of the reason why I haven't actually finished Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword is the only console Zelda game I haven't finished. To be fair, that wasn't even because the motion controls were bad. The game was built for the motion controls, and they worked. No. No one understood don't go near you while the game requires you to swing your arms about wildly. I'm gonna guess that was in the days before everybody realised that the motion control waggle basically amounted to just having a go. Yeah. Alright, let's go back to the start. Now that we have the ability to jump on Charlotte, we can progress deeper into the castle. Yeah, like, the main reason I never finished Skyward Sword is just I didn't want to deal with the motion controls. I don't want to be swinging my arms around when I'm playing a game. I play games to relax, not to just flail everywhere. And it was a lot of needless nonsense. I mean, it basically is. Also, here's a fun thing that you may never have noticed. If you hold up long enough, both characters have a different thing they do. Look, it's Behemoth, literally recycled from Rondo of Blood. Like, it's literally the same sprite. Which is a problem Castlevania has had for a very long time. Why do I always think that's not going to hit me? Alright, we'll be here when you get back, Jansen. So a good trick for basically any of the Castlevania games, Metroidvania or Classic, is to primarily attack while jumping. Metroidvanias just make it easier to do, because you have more control over your movement in midair. Basically, if you attack while you're on the ground, you can't move. But if you jump, you can move in and out a lot faster, and you can attack again faster. Just a little tip for anybody who doesn't play as many Metroidvanias as I do. Good tip, it'll keep you alive. Let you do more damage faster, with less risk. Takes a little practice. Takes a little practice to really get the movement down, because it's rocking of the D-pad to really pull it off. Not particularly complicated rocking though. Simpler than the stuff I do when I'm playing Super Mario World, the rapid readjustments I do to positioning in one game. Is the other way the save point? No. Alright, let's go this way then. Castlevania. Okay, don't need that. Is there a boss down here? One thing that I do like about having played Castlevania for long enough is that I can predict the axe arcs. Which, we talk about Smash again, that was something that was really good about Smash. The axe arc is basically the same. They carried it over very faithfully. Which was great because non-Castlevania players could not predict the axe arc. Then more people played the game and they got better at it, and now they can, so... That advantage is gone, but it's still kind of fun. Yay, Cestus. No. Is the next portrait down there, or is it a little further up? I forget. I don't remember if we run into the next portrait here or in the next area. Yeah, let's go down. That's forward. That is a teleport, so that was good to discover. Could this be a save point then? Yes. Awesome. Alright, is this where... Yep, dragon zombies. That took a lot of punishment. 150 XP isn't bad though. Is the slime boss down there? Slime boss in the cauldron. Could be. So one thing worth discussing is Portrait of Ruin has a skill system for sub-weapons. Sub-weapons become more powerful the more you use them. Which is kind of an awkward thing because it means in practice you want to find your preferred sub-weapon as early as possible and then stick with it for the rest of the game to maximise its effectiveness. Oiled starfish. Ocean. Would you stop? Yes. Bandana. Used to all the stats. Always appreciate that. Alright. Mudmen give 8 experience. It is not worth getting caught up on them. Getting the timing down of when to unsummon Charlotte is a good idea. Because if your partner takes damage, the damage for them is represented by the magic meter. And so if they take too much damage, you'll lose all your magic. And since your sub-weapons and Charlotte's spells go off the MP, go off the magic, it can leave you in a bit of a problem. Okay. No, I think I'll keep the biker jacket. Yeah, your MP is basically your trump card. Team attacks, your sub-weapons, spells, and just having your partner out. So if you can avoid your partner getting hit, like you really want that. Yeah. I feel like the Netflix series is cowardly for not actually having death. Who knows? The trailer for Season 4 showed off some more recognisable Castlevania monsters, so like maybe they'll finally bring in death. Who knows? I hope so. I do hope so. I feel like they've adapted the idea of Castlevania 3, but they've been very reluctant to adapt a lot of the spirit of it. Try and make it a little more cohesive. I don't know. Well, that's one of the things that Lament of Innocence explained. They set up a system to explain exactly why Death is Dracula's servant. I don't think it was a particularly good explanation, but, you know, they set an explanation. That's probably an emulation issue, so I'm sure the Yuccaback's fire shouldn't look like that. Hello?
Here I am. What?
Trying to get caught by Persephone's skull vacuum. Okay, and that takes us back to the place we couldn't get past there. Which we still can't get past, but it doesn't make a huge difference. Can I make it up there? I cannot. Okay. You know, this is probably the game that gives Death the most characterization in the series. He doesn't speak in Aria of Sorrow or Dawn of Sorrow. I don't think he speaks in Order of Ecclesia either. He didn't have any actual story presence in the classic games. And even in Lament of Innocence, he only really appears right at the end. Yeah, I think this probably gives Death more story presence than like any other Castlevania game. Which isn't a bad thing. Also, welcome back, Teak. I didn't say welcome back from your groceries. Here we go. So if you mess with the partner system a little, you'll be able to set this fight up so that you can always be in the right position. Have your partner stand down there attacking the cauldron so that Slime Boy will pop out. And then you can just keep attacking. There we go. Ain't no problem. Alright, let's go. And now they just give us the double jump. The ability to jump on Charlotte's head always felt like kind of an attempt to just avoid giving you the double jump too early. I think if we actually try it, I think we can actually jump off Charlotte's head into the double jump. Oh, that's kind of awkward. Now let's check with this next one just to be sure.
I see you.
Yep. The emulation isn't rendering the laser sight that this thing is supposed to show. So that's kind of awkward. Because that enemy has a gun, what they do is they aim, and a red line appears in showing where the bullet they fire will hit, and they ricochet all over the place. And so that's how you're supposed to deal with it. The Mimic should never fool you in this game. There we go. That sprite comes from Dawn of Sorrow, where Dawn of Sorrow had treasure chests. This game doesn't. So the Mimic should never fool you. You see one of those chests, it's always a Mimic. If you get behind Persephone, she'll drop the vacuum rather than trying to attack you with it. Teleport. And the second portrait, which is a pyramid. Sandy Grave. There's a specific enemy to watch out for in Sandy Grave, but it's always very easily telegraphed if you know what you're looking for. What you're looking for is these big hills, because they drop down to reveal that. we go. Secret room. And a new whip, which is good because I like the whip weapons. Possibly just because I'm a long-time Castlevania fan, my favourite kind of weapon in this game is the whip. It's also possible because the Metroidvania games don't tend to let you use whips so much. Of the 7 Metroidvania Castlevania games, I think only 3 have the whip as a main weapon. Or a weapon. Circle of the Moon has it, Harmony of Distance has it, and then Portrait of Ruin has it. Portrait of Ruin has it as a weapon you can equip or replace, whereas the previous 2 is the only weapon. I just like the whole thing of being able to go through the Metroidvania style with a whip. And also you can do this. Which I find kind of amusing. So that's the introduction to the trap. And what the trap actually is this. And brooch. Okay. There it is. Alright. One thing that's neat that's worth checking out is the talk option in here. It'll give you a bunch of tips on how this game actually works. Like the whole thing there. Blue means the enemy is strong against the attack you get thrown at it. But I also think each boss, or a bunch of the bosses at least, produce like unique results. Like the boss of this area. There, let's move it. I always hate having to use potions. That wasn't anything I was after. I was hoping there'd be a room up here that might have something. Still, I'll probably be glad I got the MP max up later. Note to self, buy more potions. Yeah, there's a high potion. Don't want to deal with that. Did you just... Doesn't matter whether you're playing a classic or a Metroidvania, flea men are always irritating. That's interesting. As far as I'm aware, like, I've never seen any artwork from Ayami Kojima for Stella, Loretta, or Brawner. That looks like Annette from Dracula X Chronicles. Is it a modified portrait? Geez, that could be modified from something as well that I don't recognise. Anyway, with the next... Season 4 of Castlevania being... stated as being like the finale of it, but they're open to doing spin-offs with other Belmonts. I feel like the smart idea with it would be to basically do a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure kind of thing. Like... Trevor equating to Joseph and then do, I don't know, Simon or Christopher equating to Joseph, and then maybe do anybody after that, equate them to Jotaro. You could do Juice, you don't have to do Juice. Anyway. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised they've stuck with Trevor this long. Okay, yep, maybe... Yeah, maybe consider switching that out. Okay, I think there's a save point around here. Okay, that's not a save point. Well, that was effectively worthless. Okay. Do I want to go this way? You know, 1,000 Blades will probably be really good when I eventually get there. Teleport. Oh, that's fair enough, Jansen, I understand. I appreciate you trying to be here. Stupid internet making fools of us all. Okay, thank you. Oh, crap. Okay, there is something beyond there that is probably worthwhile. Steel ball, not actually worthwhile. Watch out for ectoplasms, they curse you, which drains your MP. I feel like I'm going up the wrong side of this pyramid. There you go, that's why. But I know you were going to the boss room from the right, so it was like, okay, what stops me from going in from the left? I think this is funny. Alright. So there's this, the big trick. Which, you know what, I don't want to deal with right now. You know, it's kind of surprising they don't just make you fight a genie. Crossbow. Teleport, but where's the save? There it is. You need the save point here, because this is probably the first boss people are going to have trouble with in the game. For a very specific reason. Yeah, I'm not going to show it, I'll just talk about it. Charlotte doesn't do much damage to this boss. That attack, if that hits Jonathan, you lose control of Jonathan, and he will attack you. And if Jonathan kills Charlotte, that is a game over. So you've got to be very careful of that. On top of that, this boss also does quite a bit of damage. She's not using Temptation as much as I would have expected. And the reason I specifically say you should, and the reason why I have one character out, is because it doesn't matter if Jonathan is the active character or not. If he's the secondary character and he gets hit by that, same effect. And you've got the issue of, if you lose Jonathan here, you're almost guaranteed a game over. I could be doing this better, honestly. Thanks, Zeke. One thing definitely worth noting about Portrait of Ruin is a lot of the bosses can be very spongy. So it's a good idea to go into a lot of the bosses with some healing items, because they will take a lot of damage to put down, and you're probably going to slip up and get hurt. The start returns in Harmony of Despair in Chapter 4. Not Chapter 4, Chapter 7. Beauty, Desire and Situation Dire. Where she has the same effects on any male character. Which is kind of an issue. So if you play Harmony of Despair and you are not confident about being able to avoid her temptation attack, like, don't go into the boss room, because you will just be a liability. Anyway, we can push green blocks now. That's good. So what do you guys think of the DS layout? I actually have 3 separate layouts set up for whether I want horizontal display, vertical display, or single screen display. You like it? Thank you, T. Because I didn't want the chat going over the game, and since there'll be so much empty space anyway, like set it up to go elsewhere. The emulator I'm using only has 3 screen options. Single screen, double screen, vertical. Like I say, I have 3 layouts set up for each. Or like 3 layouts set up for each. I just showed you. Oh, the specific layouts. At the minute they're just templates. I don't have anything set up to go with them. Let's see. And this requires me to switch that. And also change the cropping on the screen, which means this goes off and this goes on. And then like have this in the middle, and then like have, I think the chat is on the right here. Yeah, and it's bigger as well. And then Streamlabs, alert, the alerts are set up there. And then there's the single screen, which let me change that again. Need to change the cropping again, and that, and then this goes at the side and basically works like a standard 4:3 screen. Yeah, the vertical is I'm always going to have the vertical. There we go. Always going to have the vertical as like only when it's necessary and when games make use of both of them above each other. With this it doesn't matter, because the top screen is always either the map or the status. That's it. They are. The DS setup you've got, Teak, allows for more customization of screen positionings and sizes, and you do good work with those. You definitely do. The emulator I'm using for this only has these 3 screen options. So I just make do with what I can with that. It's like this one has me on the bottom and everything. Is it? Yeah, you definitely do good work with it. Yeah, I considered doing that. It's not something I've set up or tested yet. So far, this is really the main thing I've done with it. I think it works for the minute. And I think having a lot of the extra space on the vertical setup isn't necessarily a bad idea if I make good use of the negative space. The trick will just be making good use of the negative space.
I see you.
Oh, that's fair enough. I'm not entirely sure if I can actually duplicate it. I could create a projection, then duplicate that, and then work it off. But whether or not that'll cause any slowdown on the stream is something I'd have to test. That'd be the real trick. I say for now, this is fine. Honestly, I did debate just playing the entire game like this. With the single screen. But I wanted regular access to the map. Which I suppose I could have done by just doing this. But that's not really the point. Yeah, there's definitely an issue with the capture card situation of trying to run it in two things at once. Just says it's in use by another application. But if I create a projection and then apply that could work. Like I say, the question is whether or not it'll cause me to slow down on the stream. Yeah, it is kind of an awkward thing. I think what we've got for the minute for the DS works. I can't think of any games that this wouldn't necessarily be good for. Like one of these three settings. The main trouble I can consider having is just stuff that uses the touchscreen regularly. Or as a main form of gameplay. Which means, like, at the minute with this setup, I can't do Kirby Mass Attack, which is a shame because Kirby Mass Attack is fucking awesome. Is that boss Loretta? I don't want to go through the clock tower yet. Stella. Listen, I'm sure that artwork is just a modified Annette from Dracula X Chronicles. Like, take a close look at the hair. Like, especially the fringe over the skin, and see how it feels like it doesn't quite match. It's not actually a mod, it's an official release. Konami GB Collection. 4 collections on Game Boy Color, on each having 4 Konami Game Boy games on them with full color. They were released in Japan and Europe, and they have a different numbering system in both. They just weren't released in the US. But of course, the Game Boy is region free, so that doesn't matter. I have them on my phone. Let's take a quick look. I do not have them on my phone. I will have them on my handheld, though, my retro emulation handheld. Really, I'm curious to see what that looks like then. Because I've seen Belmont's Revenge.
It's hopeless.
Probably don't want ice for her. I've seen Belmont's Revenge in colour through the GB collection. I wasn't aware there was a patch for it that did that. The only ROM, the only fan patch I'm aware of for
Secret Spurious
Belmont's Revenge is... Oh, I should have got it. A speed hack that makes Christopher walk faster. Because in Adventure, the walking speed is incredibly slow. They sped him up in Belmont's Revenge, the sequel, but he's still quite slow. You know what? I'm pretty much done here for the day. I don't want to go for too long today. What I'll do is, I will go back to the shop right now and get some items for next time. And I think I actually have the GB collection on here, so we can take a quick look at it.
How are things? I'm counting on you.
Okay, that's standard.
You're back. Excellent. I'll make you a deal. Thank you.
Alright. And teleport back and save. And then we'll pretty much call it for the day. I'll turn the cropping off and we'll take a look at the thing. I like that when you're typing just C on Twitch, Just Cause 3 comes up before just chatting. Makes it auto-boot into Belmont's Revenge. That's kind of a shame, because the other stuff on there is definitely worth checking out. So we undo the cropping. There we go. And exit this. And we'll take a look at what I've got on RetroArch. Yeah, I'm actually playing this off my PlayStation Mini with a PS4 controller plugged in. Which is great if you... After we finished Final Fantasy VII on here a few months ago, I did some experimentation to get analog sticks working. The stock firmware, the stock emulation, doesn't support it. But if you use RetroArch, and you load through RetroArch, you can use the analog sticks. So I've been playing Final Fantasy IX on here, and it's been a lot of fun. And then I got to the card tournament in Disc 3, and that wasn't fun. But now I'm past that, so it's fun again. Anyway, I didn't set up Game Boy. I didn't set Game Boy up for this. All right. Load content. There's standard Belmont's Revenge. This was actually my second Castlevania game. Because we had Super Castlevania 4 on Super Nintendo. And then when my dad got me a Game Boy, he got this game with it. It's really cool. It's a really good game. If you remind me closer to the time, Teague, yeah, sure. I called Luigi. That's right, I called Luigi. Let me see. I should set up the playlist for Game Boy. Konami. There we go. I think it's in Volume 4. Yeah, you get Gradius 2, Belmont's Revenge, Kung Fu, and Antarctic Adventure. And then the full games reworked to have colour, which is really neat. You notice the title screen is actually a little different from how it was in the original Game Boy version. Yeah, it's an official release, and like all 4 of these have various, like all 4 of them have 4 Game Boy Castlevania games on them. And I think it's kind of neat. I think Volume 2 has the adventure on it. Although, as I said to Teak, like, you don't really want to play Castlevania the Adventure. Well, I guess it's not in Volume 2. Is it in Volume 1? This one has Parodius. I like Parodius. Always go with the Vic Viper. I mean, you wouldn't play this these days when you can play it on a console. But, like, the whole thing of stuff like this was great back in the day. This is why I have the playlist set up for the other systems, and I should really get around to setting the playlist for this. There it is. So Gradius, Castlevania The Adventure, Konami Racing, and Probotector, which is the European name for Contra. They really are. They really are. Yeah, Probotector. For some reason, Contra, I don't even know when they stopped doing it. Contra was renamed to Probotector, and everybody is a robot. But Probotector is Contra. Like, make no mistake, it's entirely Contra. You know, this actually looks better than I would have expected. Considering you'd be playing this on a Game Boy screen, which would be tiny, there's a lot more screen space than I would have expected. I've never played Contra on Game Boy before. Yeah, it's alright, actually. Can I quit? Alright, let me reset then. Yeah, I don't honestly know what the thing with Probotector was. Like all the enemies were robots. For the most part, like the player characters were robots as well. I don't know. I think it's probably the same anti-violence thing that led to ninjas not being allowed in the UK. So when we got the 80s series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. I still haven't gotten this to run yet. Yeah, Mikey was not allowed to do anything because there was a weird thing against ninjas. I don't get what the point of it was. Like, it was okay to show Leonardo's swords, it was okay to show Donatello's staff and Raphael's sais. The nunchucks were off limits. It was weird. Proteus is classic though. Like, if you're into if you're into Gradius, it's basically the same thing, just with weird enemies. Well, got myself killed. Oh, well. Yeah, like... took me ages to get this set up, trying to figure all of it out. And even then, like, some of the box arts don't even appear. I don't know why. I couldn't find a box art for that in the pack that I had. And I figured out how to set them up in playlists. RetroArch is not the most friendly setup. I will definitely agree with that, Teak. But yeah, one last thing to show before we go. Chansum. Is Chansum still here? because Chanson bought a PlayStation Mini based on my recommendation, and especially the thing that it turned out it could do DS games. But like, we pick a game that has analog control. Crash 3 is always a good one to show. Have it set up to boot. Instead of going into the stock menu, go into RetroArch, and then you have like full analog control. Which is really nice. And then with RetroArch, you can also decide if you want to do, for PlayStation games, the enhanced resolution hacks. Of course, the stream disconnects while I'm showing that off. Well, time to turn them off. Alright, we're back. Stream disconnected. Again. Yes, like the full analog control, which is really nice. And it's like, you know, one of the main things I complain about with the HD ports, Final Fantasy 8 and 9, is the removal of analog control. So it's like, okay, if I'm gonna sit down and play Final Fantasy 9, I better play it with a fucking analog stick, hadn't I? It's like, we got this all set up, and like, the full analog control is really nice. Plus, if you want to mess around with it, in RetroArch, you can go into the options and turn off the enhanced resolution hacks. Which do look quite nice, though they can cause slowdown in some games and visual effects in others that can be kind of awkward. I generally leave them off because I'd rather have the game run properly, or as close to properly as possible, than look nicer. Like, this looks fine to me, honestly. Let me in. Yeah, this is nice. One game I do know has visual problems with that is Spyro 3. So you can show off that kind of thing. Okay, but if we turn on the enhanced resolution hacks, you got the pages there that look kind of awkward. And the game does look really nice like this, and it is really clean. I don't know why this appears when you go into options. No, we're not doing Spyro today, Ninja. You've come at like the worst time for that. Like, it does look nice. If you don't care about the visual problems that will appear from that, like various little issues that may or may not appear, and you're mindful of the possibility of slowdown, like, it looks quite nice with these enhanced resolution hacks. Like I said, I'd rather have the game run as close to properly as possible, rather than look better, so I'll just play it like this. And like the pages work properly now. Well, I think this looks fine. I tell you what, Ninja, since it's your birthday, we'll do one level. Don't care, Bianca, piss off. What level? What level? I need more eggs to unlock that level. How many eggs is that? 10 eggs.
Do you like the active camera?
You know what? One thing definitely to check is whether or not this recognizes me playing on emulator as me not having a legitimate copy. Which was kind of a thing in Spyro 1. I guess not. Because Spyro 1 was pretty well known. No, Spyro 3 back in the day was pretty well known for its anti-piracy argument. Where Zoe the Fairy would say to you, like, it looks like you may not have a legitimate copy, so you may experience issues with it. The unfortunate thing was that could happen on legitimate copies that got scratched. So, you know, kind of not the best thing. Oh, is your disc a little dirty or damaged? Well, you know, we're not going to let you play the game. It runs fine, but, you know, it's triggered the copy protection. Technically, you could play the entire game. The specific instance I'm aware of is that you get to the end of the game, and I think you either go towards the final boss fight, or after you win the final boss fight, the game just takes you back to the start of the game and resets all your progress. So you don't get to see the ending. Spyro 3 is actually a really interesting case of anti-piracy. Because the specific triggers for it were really elaborate. It was one of the trickiest, from what I'm aware, it was one of the trickiest pieces of copy protection to crack on the PlayStation. And like, even for years afterwards, it was one of the trickiest pieces to deal with.
I'm late for it.
I don't care. I do want to do the Spyro games at some point. I'm really just putting more time, like before I do them, I'm putting more time between my last playthrough of Spyro 1 before I do it again for the stream. Because if I do Spyro, it's going to be a 100% playthrough. Because generally the 100% playthroughs of Spyro, the Spyro trilogy, aren't really that irritating or difficult to get. They just take a little dedication and time, and I can do that. I do have the Reignite trilogy. Like if we, when we get to Spyro, I'm gonna do the originals, the PlayStation versions. Great reward. That's not a Spyro 1. That doesn't sound familiar. Like, that might not be any of the original 3. When it comes to anything past the original 3, I've played Enter the Dragonfly for like 20 minutes. Because my brother got it for a PS2. I was like, yeah, no, let me try this. I've heard this is bad, but I've never played it. Let me try this. And it was bad. Like, it had a lot of glitches and shit. I don't think it was the second one. Because I've 100%ed all of the original trilogy.
To get the best glide. I saw something shiny.
The original Spyro has it.
Oh, I almost forgot. I found this.
The original Spyro has the treasure level, if you get 100%. A level where you can just fly indefinitely and your goal is to get all the treasure in that level.
This is a Superfly power.
Like I've got Reignited, and I've played some of the first game in that, and I think the remake graphics just confused the visual clarity. I was playing a level in the first Reignited game, and I spent like 15 minutes looking for the last gem, and it turned out the last gem was just hidden behind a piece of grass that didn't exist in the original. Like, they added foliage effects to the game. And the foliage made it harder to see the gems. So that was fun. Well, I'd be willing to do Reignited, but I'd do it after like doing the original trilogy. Like go through 1, 2, 3, Enter the Dragonfly, Hero's Tale, the Legend of Spyro trilogy, and then do Reignited, like circle back on it. Same idea with what's his face, Crash. The idea would be to do 1, 2, Warped, Wrath of Cortex, Twin Sanity, possibly the Game Boy Advance games, because they're not bad. The Huge Adventure and Entranced are both pretty good. I definitely recommend checking that if you've never played them. And then, like, maybe check out Crash of the Titans. And then, like, circle, like, see how I feel if I want to do Mind Over Mutant, and then circle back to the original trilogy with Insane. Alright, so let's take a look at Spyro. Like, say Ninja, 1 level for your birthday. Yeah, oh god, this is the level with the skateboard, I remember this. Yeah, I do intend to get to Spyro at some point.
Let me catch my breath and I'll kick that other guy's butt.
I think I might have seen that back when Reignited came out on PC, but that would have been ages ago. I remember I got really good at the skateboarding at one point, because I had a demo for this way before I had the actual game, and the demo came with 3 level segments, and one of them was the skateboarding. I think the skateboarding had a similar issue that Crash 2 and 3 had. Like, Spyro Year of the Dragon, I think, had a similar issue with the skateboarding that Crash 2 and 3 had. With the jetpack and the motorcycle. In that they were on the covers. They barely appeared in the game, and they were not that good when they did appear. Analog control is great for this game.
This Rhino block is too big to charge. You'll have to flame him using the circle button.
Oh, Hunter. Right, yeah, no, that is in this level. You have to beat Hunter's score.
Hi, Spyro.
Please leave me alone.
That means you're probably...
Please leave me alone. Got very violent. I remember the last time I 100%ed this game, because I got the trilogy on PSN when I got my Vita, because it was £8 for the trilogy. Like, all 3 Spyro games for £8, and I can play them on my Vita? Yeah. So I ended up 100%ing the entire trilogy, and I remember having more trouble with the skateboarding than I expected to, because I used to be way better at it. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. The flying sections, I don't remember the flying sections specifically in this. Probably because the flying sections were also in the other games. I forgot Sheila has a section in this level. Like, hey, let's put an Australian character into this game. We'll make it a kangaroo, and she'll be called Sheila. Is that racist? Nah. Racist, you know, racist probably isn't the word for it. Abusing stereotypes is probably the word. You know, maybe I should do more non-RPG stuff, because this is fun. I imagine it looks kind of boring. Especially the way I do this, like, very methodical and stuff. But like, I'm having fun with this.
Thanks for the help.
Piss off. I'm not here to save you, I'm here for money. I'm glad you're entertained, Ninja, because this is all for you. For your birthday.
Thank you for rescuing my town. As mayor, I award you with one of our
Get
famous...
stuff like what? Me telling the dude to piss off for talking to me?
I'm sorry. That was the...
Yeah, no, fuck them. Fuck the NPCs. Trying to rescue, like, baby dragons and gems here. I didn't think it was Ninja's birthday, I just said it as a case of like, yeah, no, let's do something nice for Ninja. Do I have all the gems from this area? I feel like I do, but the game isn't going to tell me that I've got all the gems, because there'll be gems in Sheila's section that I need to get. I actually like it. Well, you're a mod for a reason, Ninja.
Hi, Spyro. I found this gladiator.
Shut up.
I...
Yeah. I feel like the skateboard in this is very much a similar case as like the motorbike in Crash 3. It was a case of them running out of ideas and just desperately trying to do anything new. The real trigger is going to be if I do this without any real issues. Sparks, you didn't pick up that gem, did you? God damn it, Sparks. What's the next one? Grab all of them without falling off the board. And then it's the challenge with Hunter. Yeah. I think that's all of them there. At least there's no speed issue to worry about with this. Like, it's not a good section, definitely, and mechanics aren't fleshed out well enough. But one thing that makes it a little more bearable is there's no really crappy momentum system to worry about. So, you know, you gotta take that where you can get it.
Hey, that was great.
There's always been the thing with Hunter here, of like, he's supposed to be your friend, helping you to find the dragon eggs. And it's like, look at that. I don't know, I've not played Sparrow 2 or 3 on the Reignited trilogy. Yeah, like, Hunter's like, yeah, no, I'm your friend, I'm helping you, I'm here to help you collect all the dragon eggs. Also, I might have found another one, but I'm not going to give it to you unless you do this thing I'm telling you to do. Yeah, no, Hunter definitely deserves to die. God damn it. Okay, I guess that was the first... No, there's another one. What? Fucking dick.
Aw, too bad.
Alright, let's try it this time and not screw up the start. Alright. There's also the issue of, like, the landing off half pipe is fairly generous, but since you have to turn around, Sparrow won't land if you just leave him facing upwards, which is really dumb because that goes against how every skateboarding game works. I'm sorry, did I not press the button there? I can make every go off a half pipe for this kind of thing really kind of like... Yeah, suck it, Hunter.
Whoa, that was sweet. And
I am Daisy.
you can go for the course record now if you want.
Is this the one with Hunter's challenge then? There it is. I knew one of these buttons let me do this. I feel like there might be another skate park in this game. I don't know. I'm sure it's a mechanic they used more than once in this game. Ultra Arrow is good. We're going to continue it on Tuesday. The reason why we're here is wanted to show off some of the stuff we've got on the PlayStation Mini right now. And also discuss with Teak about the version of Belmont's Revenge that he got. And I didn't want to be streaming for super long today anyway. Oh, that's bullshit. I always hate that kind of thing. I had that kind of thing happen to me like 3 times during Final Fantasy 13. Like, my controller died, and normally that wouldn't be an issue because most games have a thing of, oh, your controller's been disconnected. Here, we've paused the game for you. Final Fantasy 13 doesn't do that for some fucking reason. Shut up, man. Shut up, moneybags.
I hope you appreciate this favor I'm doing in letting you out.
Yeah. Like, it's one of the things, like, wireless controllers, super convenient. The batteries, but then there's also the case of, like, wired controllers never have to deal with that, but you still have to deal with the wires, and there's the possibility of the wire breaking, which, you know, is then an issue. There is no perfect solution yet.
Let me catch my breath and I'll kick them.
Yeah. Yeah, I said I'd do one level, and then we chose this one to do. So I'm gonna do the full level for you, which includes Sheila's bit. So I just went to go and get Sheila. Okay. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do that without going into Sheila's world. I don't use my mouse that often because I don't often do like when I'm actually playing PC, which isn't often, I don't often do mouse-based games. So I really don't use my mouse that often.
Thanks again, Spyro.
Hiya, Sheila.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, there's also the case of, like...
Home at last.
Yeah, there's also the case of, like... You could see they were desperately trying to figure out anything else they could do with Spyro with the animal buddies. Which, to be fair, wasn't a bad idea. The animal buddies are fun to play as, mostly. There's an interesting point with Insomniac when they said, like, after Spyro 3, like, they dropped Spyro. Like, Insomniac Games made the first 3. And they said, like, they dropped Spyro afterwards. Yeah, the Yeti. I think his name is Benny. There's Sheila, Sergeant Bird, Agent 9, or something, the monkey dude, and the Yeti, who I think is called Benny. But yeah, Insomniac said, like, one of the reasons they wanted to let go of Spyro was because, like, without hands, there wasn't much they could do with him. He couldn't even hold a gun because he didn't have hands. And I always thought that was a really stupid thing to say. But to be fair, what did Insomniac go and do after they dropped Spyro? They went and made Ratchet and Clank, which has a big emphasis on guns. So it's like, you know what? Fair play to them. I've played a bunch of the first one, not much more than that. It's probably something I'll eventually stream, honestly. I have the trilogy and not much beyond that. The HD trilogy. I know there is more beyond that. I have the PSP stuff that I could do.
Thanks for the help, Sheila. You can have this egg I found.
the PSP games. There is a Ratchet and Clank game on the PSP, Size Matters. And then there's also Secret Agent Clank on the PSP, which focuses on Clank. Which becomes another parallel of Insomniac and Naughty Dog properties, because Naughty Dog, after they left Crash, did Jak and Daxter. Which had a bunch of games on PS2. But they also had Jak and Daxter The Lost Frontier on PSP, and then just Daxter. So, like the Insomniac property, they also had a PSP game that focused on the pair, and then a PSP game that focused on the sidekick. So that's a weird coincidence. And of course, Insomniac made Resistance, while Uncharted made Naughty Dog. Insomniac made Resistance, while Naughty Dog made Uncharted. Resistance is interesting. Like, Resistance 1 and 2, very much shooters of the era. Resistance 3 is well worth checking out, though. Yeah, 2 was mostly just like kind of a holding pattern. We needed to throw out a game for this. Resistance 3 is really good, and it's very unlike a lot of other shooters from the era.
Alas, I have lost my love, guarded by evil.
I'm probably never going to do a full series playthrough of Resistance, but I'd be down to stream Resistance 3. Kind of in the same way, like, you're not going to catch me doing a full series playthrough of Killzone, but you know what? I will stream the fuck out of Killzone Mercenary, because Killzone Mercenary was great. I remember when, well, that says it all, doesn't it? I remember when the Vita came out, and, like, there was a bunch of focus on it, having, like, actually two analog sticks. And it's like, yeah, now we can do first-person shooters, Call of Duty coming to the Vita. And then Call of Duty came to the Vita, and Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified on the Vita was shit, and also really short. Like, I've heard that game can be beaten in 45 minutes. And not like speedrun beaten, like casual playthrough 45 minutes. Okay, that's pissing me off. And there's better stuff you can play on Vita if you've got 45 minutes to spare, though, even at launch. Like, there was Persona 4 Golden around that point as well. Resistance did get a game on Vita, Resistance Liberation. It's not a first-person shooter. Wait, no, I'm thinking of the PSP version, the PSP game. Resistance Burning Skies was the Vita version, and it's not a first-person shooter. But Killzone Mercenary, I think I got Killzone Mercenary on a PlayStation Plus month. Like, back when PlayStation Plus was actually decent, and when I first got my Vita. But I didn't have a huge number of games for it, and, like, it was pricey, so I didn't have the money to spend on more games. So I got PlayStation Plus. And they had a bunch of good stuff on there. I got Uncharted Golden Abyss on there, and I'm not super big into Uncharted, but I enjoyed Golden Abyss on the Vita. Gravity Rush I got on there, and Gravity Rush was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed Gravity Rush. Like, games I ended up actually buying later because they were good. Uncharted Golden Abyss gets a lot of shit. People point at it and like, yeah, no, this is the worst Uncharted. It's like, you know what, no. I enjoyed Golden Abyss way more than I enjoyed Uncharted 1. To the point where I actually finished Golden Abyss, I didn't finish Uncharted 1. But yeah, Killzone Mercenary though. You're not missing much, it's just another Uncharted game. The biggest thing with Uncharted Golden Abyss was, oh, we're doing this on a handheld, and it did look fantastic for a handheld. But then, like, Killzone Mercenary, I ended up playing Killzone Mercenary, and I never liked Killzone.
What? Marco sent you here?
A friend had the first one on PS2, I played it a little bit and didn't think much of it. The second one was supposed to be really good on PS3, like one of the PS3's big killer apps. And I got it and didn't think much of it. This entire world has been Care Bears, Ninja, you've just not been paying attention. It is. The entire series is overrated in the same way that The Last of Us is very much overrated. It's not to say The Last of Us is a bad game. But I think the big amount of praise that is thrown on The Last of Us for having a mature story that goes in dark places in ways that video games never really have before is a prime example of how even video games media doesn't take video games seriously still. The story wasn't anything super special. Like, oh yeah, no, it's big and cinematic, and so what, as a game, it is really just kind of And let's be fair, the stealth isn't great. That's basically it. Like, it's trying to be something like Children of Men. But Children of Men does it way better. But because they'd never been anything like that in gaming before, like, they just... everybody heaped praise on the story for it. That, from everything I'm aware, is very much true. But, you know, here they are saying, like, Last of Us 3. Let's get that happening.
If you see Marco, please tell him.
I've not played Last of Us 2. I honestly have no interest in it. My biggest issue was mostly just everything around it. The controversy, the way everybody reacted to it, the way the people who were involved reacted to it. Like Neil Druckmann being a childish little bitch on social media whenever anybody said anything slightly negative about it. And it's like, fuck's sake, what is your problem with that? And of course, Troy Baker acting like the big hero, defending every aspect of it, no matter how slightly criticised it is. Yeah. We had this discussion about Troy Baker a long time ago. And then, like, even beyond that, the fans who are all like, hey, let's send death threats to Laura Bailey for voicing a character in this video game. And it's like, you know what, no, fuck off. That kind of shit is why Star Wars fans were basically looked upon as just violent, misogynistic racists for so long after The Last Jedi. Because so many of the idiots just went and did that kind of shit. Laura Bailey's great. And even if she wasn't, it's like, okay, we talk about Troy Baker. And Troy Baker and the shit he does and says on Twitter about shit like that is dumb. Like, Jason Schreier posts a tweet saying games are too long, and Troy Baker posts a pretentious reply of a quote from, I think, an old president of the United States, talking about how critics are stupid. It's like, yeah, no, I'll just leave this here. Like, in the most pretentious bullshit way. And the point to take away from that is that Troy Baker is kind of a twat. It's not that Troy Baker is a massive twat for any of the characters he voices. And I'll give praise to Troy Baker for his character voices when it is really justified. And that's very much the important point. You should separate a person from their work. So Laura Bailey played a character that a lot of people didn't like. Laura Bailey was doing a job, and knowing Laura Bailey, she probably did a good job. He really is, and it's really just tiresome to see him everywhere. And also that he's kind of fallen into a similar thing Nolan North was in for a while, of every voice he does is one voice. Nolan North had that issue for a while of, like, every voice he did was just Nathan Drake again. Which was a shame, because Nolan North had range. And probably still has range. I don't think anything's changed about that. The big problem with the whole thing is, like, the death threat has become the standard response for anything anybody didn't like. And it is absolutely ridiculous and beyond the pale. Like, it is the dumbest shit. But chances are nothing's actually going to be done about it because people can say shit like that on the internet. Who cares? Look at how long it took before anybody bothered to do anything about swatting. Like, you ever seen the whole swatting problem? Of people watching streamers or like playing video games with somebody online. And it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm either bored or I just don't like something this person has done, so I will call the police on them and tell the police that there's something like a hostage situation or something. It took for somebody to die before anybody was actually fucking doing anything about that. Welcome back, Chanson. They are. They really are. The whole false sense of anonymity on the internet makes people way too fucking bold. Alright, that's enough of that. No, if I'm gonna send you any kind of threat, I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. There will be a horse's head in your bed when you wake up. Just standard death threats are so fucking pathetic. Ugh. And then there's shit like that where that kind of thing can have genuine real-world consequences. Yeah. It's like I say, it's like the swatting situation, where people are calling police on people who are active online in any regard and saying that, like, yeah, no, there's a hostage situation in this house, and it took for somebody to die in the response before anybody started doing anything about it. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I really want to play Blood Omen, but there's always the chance somebody will redeem that full series Legacy of Kain playthrough. Yeah, I'm not gonna play Resident Evil, honestly, Ninja. I was taking the break from Resident Evil, and then we did RE4 last month. And like, I'm good to not play Resident Evil again for another good while. We've done a lot of Resident Evil over the past couple of years. Oh yeah, I took Survivor off this to make room. Yeah. Chanson, one point I want to make, because you've got yours now. If you end up doing what I'm doing, let me go through the thing to show it off. You go into the boot menu, you press L1 to go to the settings. I have it set up to launch games in RetroArch from stock UI, which is what allows me to use the analog sticks. The main issue with that which I discovered because I've been playing through Final Fantasy IX at the minute. If we load this save state up here that I've got, where I'm at, whenever you load the game up, it always defaults to disc 1. So whenever you start it up, and you're on, like, past the first disc, you need to go into disk control, eject disk, current disk index, choose the disk you're on, insert disk, and then go back. Which means you need to be very careful not to have the save states in, like, loading screens. Just something for you to be aware of. But the plus side is, like, you get full analog control, so that's really nice. Einhander's good. I like Einhander. Yeah. So just, like, be aware of that. Good stuff. Yeah, it's just for multi-disc games. And the only thing you need to watch out for, like, look at that, full analog control. Look at Crash Walk. I tried to get it set up so that I could have this off the stock emulator, but it wouldn't happen. It just mapped the D-pad to the analog stick. Also, let's take a look at our level with the enhanced resolution on. We'll do one level, and then we'll call it. Well, you got the enhanced resolution here. This will slow down some games. It will also cause glitches in some games. But it can make it look really nice. Like that, there was a glitch there. That should have done like a weird fade out.
Why must you always...
So should that. In fact, if I turn that off, will that give us the proper results? And then I quit out, and then try it again. I'm fine with the games looking like this. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Does it do the proper fade? There you go. That's what it's supposed to do.
Craig.
So yeah, the enhanced resolution comes at some kind of cost. So, like, really, I just don't turn the enhanced resolution on. We get a clean video signal through the HDMI anyway. I think this is fine. It's not smudged, it's not messy, like the N64 is. It's just pixely. Just got the pixels visible, which is fine. Fun fact, if you're ever starting a new game of Crash 2 or 3 and you want to skip the intro, go to load game instead of new game, and then quit out of the loading screen and you'll be in the menu hub. You'll be in the world hub. Ready to just go and do the levels. Yeah, I've never actually played Jak and Daxter. Well, it is the first level, Ninja. I've got Insane Trilogy, but I've not spent much time on that either. As I think the originals are still fine. The main thing that I think Insane Trilogy did that it needed to do is it fixed up the saving system in Crash 1. Which was always kind of garbage. Go. What would that have been?
Crash Coco.
And what boss could that have been? Would that be a Crash 3 boss? I think that could be tiny. Crash 1 maybe? Possibly Crash 2. I can't think of anything it could be from Crash 3. Oh, from his Adventure Rebirth playthrough yesterday. Yeah, sure. Link it in the Discord, in the Stream Clips channel. That is for everybody's clips. Not just mine. Damn it. Yeah! Pro tip, if you're gonna go for the relics in this, in Crash 3, wait until you beat the final boss, because the final boss gives you the dash power-up. Which is essential for a lot of the relics. Like, that gold relic there, I don't think I could get that without the dash. Like, that's more than a 4-second difference. And I made, like, one mistake in that run, which didn't cost me 4 seconds. I'll show it before we go. Alright, here we go. That you can't get the gold relic without the dash. Well, now we can't get it, definitely. That was maybe a second, 2-second stop. Well, like, even with that, like, about 4 seconds difference between what we got and the gold relic. And I think the gold relic is actually required. I think the gold relic is required for the secret levels. Or for 100% completion, I don't remember. The platinum relics aren't. Because, like, there's the sapphire, because we got the sapphire there. Then there's gold, and then there is platinum. Platinum isn't required. Anyway, we've gone longer than I intended to, honestly. Because of Ninja. It's Ninja's fault. But what are you doing? How are you doing okay, Ninja? I hope this has ended your night pretty well. after being forced to stop Resident Evil 8. Oh, that's going well for you. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. Don't play the original manga solo without a turbo controller. Every time I've played Metal Gear Solid on stream, I've done it without a turbo controller, and it's always ended up hurting. Like, I used to be able to get to the 4th round before it started being a problem, but now it starts becoming a problem in like the 3rd, or depending on how I'm doing that day, the 2nd. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Teak, Chansum, Phazon, MDub, Ninja, and Ghostplay. Thank you all for joining the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, with the weekly Nocturne stream, where I'll be joined by Chansum Gaming on the mic as we continue through Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. We are about to enter the Mantra headquarters after having defeated Dansei for the first time. So look forward to that, it should be fun. That could be like the entirety of tomorrow's stream, dealing with the Mantra headquarters. Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to that, it should be fun. Definitely check out Chansum on his own channel, where he does his own streams without me. Where he's currently playing through Skies of Arcadia Legends on his first playthrough. Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is almost finished with. Tales of Berseria, and also his nighttime, his late night streams where he plays Animal Crossing, where he is currently doing Animal Crossing New Horizons, having upgraded from the original GameCube release. Having completely skipped over City Folk and Wild World. I don't even like Animal Crossing. Why do I know what the one on the Wii was called? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, check out Chansum. Chansum's cool people. Like I said, join me on mic tomorrow with Nocturne. So that should be fun. The Nocturne streams, it has turned out that we do very chill Nocturne streams, very casual, low energy. Low energy? I'd say they're pretty relaxing. Like, definitely come along and check them out if you're after something kind of calm and fun for your Sunday evening. Well, I mean, you skip 3 as well, but like, I don't expect you to somehow have an ability to stream New Leaf. But anyway, that is going to do it for us for today. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining the stream. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. May-troidvania will continue on Tuesday with more Portrait of Ruin as we continue through that. After that, I'll probably do Super Metroid to get the Metroid part of May-troidvania out of the way. It's like, if we're going to do a month of Metroidvanias, there's got to be a Vania in there, and there's got to be a Metroid. So let's get both of them out of the way first, and then do the other more obscure stuff. Like I say, I want to do Soho Lunar Nights, I had other ideas as well, and I can't remember what they are. Like, for sure I want to do Toho Luna Nights, but there's also the possibility of Guacamelee, Blasphemous, possibly Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, possibly Hollow Knight. Yes. Yes. That is the intention, Teak. You say that as if I don't complete games. Well, yeah, I know that. Like, today was just supposed to be a short stream, anyway. But Tuesday we should be back up to standard. Yeah. So probably like +3, probably over 4. Yeah, then Ninja came along and was like, oh, Spyro. Like a monster. Yeah, like, the intention is to do it. Portrait of Ruin, I could finish. I could have done it in 2 sessions, honestly, if I'd gone for longer today. What do we got after this? There's still the Stellar fight to do, 2 more portraits. And then the Stellar and Loretta fight, and if I do that properly, I avoid the bad ending, get 4 more portraits. Those should be like an hour and a half, those 4, and then it's the final boss. So yeah, if I really knuckle down, I can finish Portrait of Ruin on Tuesday. And then Toho Luna Nights, I've heard, is about 5 hours-ish. It's not a long game. My biggest concern, honestly, lengthwise, for Metroidvania, is if I decide to do Bloodstained or Hollow Knight, because those are both on the longer side as far as Metroidvania games go. Anyway, actually wrap up. My boy Magic is currently streaming Far Cry. He started Far Cry yesterday, the original Far Cry. So I'm gonna shout Magic out. Definitely check him out. He's a super cool dude. He recently finished Persona 5 Royal on the hardest difficulty. And chances are he's probably playing Far Cry on the hardest difficulty because he does that. He's a crazy dude. If you check Magic out, he's a cool dude. He has anxiety issues, so he doesn't talk on mic. But if you chat in the chat with him, he will respond to you in the chat. So it's not like a stream where there's no interaction, so don't worry about that. Magic is a very cool dude. He's a good friend of the stream. He's always very supportive. And he's just a really cool dude. It's worth checking out his stuff. So he's doing Far Cry at the minute. If you want to stick around on Twitch and you don't want to run into anything to do with Resident Evil Village, which I know quite a few of you don't, check out Magic. He's a super cool dude. Also, check out Teak the Lamer. He's cool. He's doing Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest on Tuesday as part of his Turn-Based Tuesdays. Apparently, I'm going to be guest starring on his Thursday stream when we co-op Super Mario World. So that should be fun. I get another chance to show off my competency at Super Mario World, one of the few games I'm actually pretty confident about. So check that out. I'm actually pretty good at Super Mario World. And on Fridays, he's going through the Castlevania series. So check that out. There is also our boy, the Burby Ninja. I didn't mean to actually spell Burby Ninja, but there it is. Who recently went through all the mainline Resident Evil games in preparation of the release of Village, and is now playing through Village. So check Ninja out. He's a cool dude. There is actually plans after May-troidvania is over for Ninja to join me on mic and do a Devil May Cry series run through. So look forward to that. That should be fun. Ninja's a cool dude. Yeah. Yeah. So Devil May Cry series playthrough. Yeah, we could possibly replace Classic Mecha Mondays with that, so we're only doing one a week and it doesn't overload anything. I have to consider that, because Alundra finishes next week. Anyway. So yeah, look forward to that. Check out Teak, check out Chansum, check out Magic. Magic is a super cool dude. Currently playing through Far Cry Classic on Xbox Series X. He's a cool dude. Yeah, he does cool stuff. If you're really interested in seeing him do some crazy stuff, check out his archive video when he and his brother did Resident Evil 6 co-op on the hardest difficulty mode with only handguns. They did the entire game like that. It was crazy. Anyway, that is going to do it for us today. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Big express thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, British Summertime BST, with Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne as we continue through that. Joined on the mic by our boy Chansum Gaming, who is a super cool dude, and we do cool, chill streams together. So definitely check those out. It's a nice chill flavour, and we have fun. And we also do voices. They're not good voices, but we do voices. Jansen's voices are alright. I know. But that's not the point. Yeah, so with that, thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day, and take care. We'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.